So pre-patch has been rather interesting, and in today's video I want to focus in on the new endgame system for player housing called endeavors. A great idea, really poor execution. But is it salvageable? Well, I think it is. Hello everybody, it's your boy Jmulls, and we're gonna be spending a lot of time filling bars, aren't we? Welcome to the pre-patch, people, and I know for some people that may sound like a threat, but we're in Razorwind Shores, the Horde housing district, because it's better. And this is the Endeavors dashboard. So what are Endeavors? It's a way to get a decent amount of housing experience. However, it's essentially a series of activities that you and your neighborhood can perform in order to acquire three main resources: community coupons, which you can use to buy decor from the Endeavor; house experience, which is just experience for your house, but also Endeavor progress. There are several thresholds here: milestone 1, 2, 3, and then you fill the bar. This is not a per character basis. This is neighborhood wide. And if you have two houses, one in an alliance neighborhood as well, it's a completely separate bar. I primarily play in my Horde house, so I'm doing it here. Now, the idea is that you and everyone else who lives in your neighborhood complete a variety of tasks that are laid out here. And as you complete these tasks, this bar is supposed to fill up. Now, I want to show off all the Endeavor tasks that have been accomplished by not only myself, but other people in my neighborhood. And I want you to know where that bar is currently. This is the culmination of all of this collective effort. Now, I want you to imagine for a second some neighborhoods that only have like 1 or 2 people actually contributing. I'm kind of fortunate. There's actually a few people in my neighborhood that are trying to contribute to this. Some more than others, but that is kind of natural. And you may be going, well, Jmulls, are Blizzard stupid? Is it just a balancing issue? Well, I think it's a bit of an unfortunate consequence of the system that is Endeavors. What do I mean by this? When Blizzard were advertising Endeavors for so long, one of the main things they tried to reassure the community of was that if your neighborhood only consisted of a couple of people, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe even just one person that actively contributes to an endeavor, the game would essentially store that information, so the next endeavor that would spawn would scale according to that. So if a neighborhood was very active and had a whole bunch of people doing it, it would scale to make sure that it's not just done in like 2 minutes, right? Like, that makes sense. Remember, housing is supposed to be essentially end game content for people that want to participate in it. They want you to be able to sink your teeth into this system because this is the primary way to interface with housing in terms of leveling up, in terms of each endeavor basically being an event. We can acquire a whole bunch of decor specific to that specific endeavor. They want this to have the depth and the wealth of content you would expect from an end game mode, basically. And it's basically why they give you so many days for an endeavor, right? It's because, like, yeah, we've made barely any progress, but we still have 37 days. It is entirely feasible that we end up filling this bar, so long as it's mathematically possible. And if the idea is that it will scale to the number of people that are actively contributing to endeavors the next time, well, logically, that means the first time might be a bit screwed. And since this is the first endeavor this neighborhood is going to be doing, so long as this scaling technology isn't terrible, well, hello number squish that we're also having in the pre-patch. Theoretically, this is a problem that should work itself out for the vast majority of people just with the next endeavor. However, my opinion, first impressions are very important, and this isn't an engaging system to interface with at all. That's my main issue with it. It's not the scale of it. It's not whether or not the actual decor you get for this is good or not. It's fine. Like, ethereals look cool. I'm glad we're able to get like stuff like this. That's nice. Netherstorm is awesome. And by contributing more to an endeavor, I get more community coupons that I can use to buy up more decor from the endeavor. That's a cool feature. I like that. But like, look at some of the tasks it wants you to do. Better yet, some of the ones that I have done. Defeat Nexus Prince Shafar. I basically had to go run a Mana Tombs dungeon run. Very simple enough, especially with current scaling. Not difficult at all. Same with Alcatraz. Same with Botanica. Same with Mechana. Then there are others. These are the really egregious ones in my opinion, because those are just kind of fine. Like, run some old dungeons. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. It's not that much of a time commitment. Gather herbs, ores, skins, or fish in Outland. 100 of them. Just for 25 house XP, 5 community coupons. And yeah, it's a repeatable task. But I'll tell you, right now with the current balance, that progress bar for endeavors endeavors is not going up much at all, in any way, in any capacity. Again, bear in mind, this is after all of these endeavor tasks have been completed by not only myself, but the rest of my neighborhood. It's only gone up by like 1 nut hair. This just doesn't feel good. This is a relatively interesting sounding one. Blade of the Sky God. Defend the Sky God assault on Bashir Landing in Blade's Edge Mountains. The assault begins every even hour at the Sky God outpost in Blade's Edge Mountains. Actually, a reason to go to Blade's Edge Mountains. I'm not even sure if TBC had that. But then you have these other ones, man. It's like defeat 100 members of the Sun Fury, which are just regular mobs in the world. 100 members of the Ethereum. And you may be going, well, what's the issue? They scale those mobs. Those are level 80 mobs. Granted, it's not like it's that difficult or anything, but still, this isn't something you gotta bang out in a couple of minutes. You're gonna be putting in some time in order to accomplish quite a few of these objectives. There was another one that wants you to be like a good neighbor. Yeah, this is the one. It wants you to do 100 neighborly deeds. Basically, what that means is across your housing neighborhood, there's quite a few things you can interact with. You can like pet certain pets. Will it actually give me reputation here? Yes, it does. So I got 20 stacks of neighborly deeds from petting this one hatchling. That sounds good, right? Let's do it again. What's the problem, YouTuber? Well, initially getting 20 from that seems like it'd be pretty good. The rest you're gonna get, not gonna be nearly as efficient. Oh, look, a loose rock. Let's go clean it up. This wasn't on the map, by the way. You get one. If you find a lightly damaged fence post, this is gonna be 5. These things aren't super common, by the way. I spent like longer than you think going around my entire neighborhood looking for things to interact with to complete this endeavor. And you may go, well, could you just simply not do it? Yes, absolutely. Does that make it a good system though? If the best part of something is not interacting with it, I would argue no. And I just want to reiterate here, my problem with this system isn't necessarily the scaling right now. I can get by with the idea that, okay, the first endeavor is going to be a bit janky because the scaling isn't really able to be implemented yet because it doesn't have any reference data to work with. Okay, sure, I can work with that. The activities you're doing and the sense of accomplishment you get with each activity that you do just needs some improvement. And by some, I mean a lot. There are some things here that I think are really good. For a Consortium Consternation, which is the ethereal endeavor, you can go into untethered space just like in Koresh. And there's a couple of activities you can do here. Hey, this guy's missing 3 little like doodads. I can go around this little bubble area to find them. There's also a giant freaking jumping puzzle, which is pretty dang cool. And there's a whole bunch of checkpoints throughout the jumping puzzle that basically should help largely mitigate that feeling of, oh, I just fell down and lost all my progress. Like if you get over there, you hit the untethered tether, and if you fall down, you can like climb back up it. It's very easy. And you turn into a cat, you get like a double jump. They actually changed the movement mechanics when you're doing the jumping puzzle to not be like dog crap. I was kind of surprised by this as well because it wasn't working on day one. I feel like they hot fixed like quite a few of this movement in with this cat, because when I first did the jumping puzzle, it didn't have the movement. For instance, if you double jump in midair, you get a little glide there. But if you hit backspace, I guess not necessarily backspace, if you hit like back, it just kills your momentum and you fall. If you've ever platformed in WoW before, you know how useful that could be in particular. It's a really cool idea. This is the type of activity that I like to see from endeavors personally. I also like the ones that are just go play the game, like, hey, go get some honor, go do Mythic Plus, go do some delves. But like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a repeatable task, don't get me wrong. Look how paltry the rewards are for this. Complete 5 Mythic Plus dungeons for 10 housing XP and 3 community coupons. Just as a point of reference, oh my god, look at this one. 20 world quests for 10 XP and 3 coupons. Yeah, they're repeatable, but my god, that is wildly inefficient compared to quite a few of these other tasks. So my recommendation for Blizzard, my feedback, up the rate of activities like this. The world quests, the raid bosses, the delves, the Mythic Plus dungeons, the honor. Up the reward for those a lot. Slash the requirements for like these overworld mob kills from like 100 to maybe like 10, 15, or 20 or something. Because I'm sorry, it's not that fun just waiting in Netherstorm to farm mobs. Like, what are we doing? Like, maybe sure, it's a way to kill time and I'm waiting for like a dungeon queue or whatever, but still. The activities we're doing in the video game should be fun and engaging and not just filler busy work. Because because right now, a lot of what endeavors currently are feels like just standard bottom of the barrel busy work that exists just to prolong game time instead of offering a cool and unique and interesting gameplay experience. The scaling is whatever. I want to reiterate that, like, that can be fixed. These types of activities though, they need some serious review. Endeavors are a really cool idea. Being able to have some kind of goal to aspire to with the rest of your neighborhood all working together, having some kind of event to get themed decor, that's a really great idea, especially for housing. It's just the execution and implementation leave quite a bit to be desired, especially on the first endeavor. But I don't think the majority of my issues with endeavors are going to be fixed with just better scaling and better tuning. The actual activities you're doing and that feeling of being rewarded for each of the activities that you do just leaves a lot to be desired. This is easily a system that with more iteration and more development down the line, which we know housing is going to have, and we know they've been listening in the community, they've been taking a lot of feedback to heart, they've given us a general idea of things they want to implement into housing down the line, and it really does sound cool. I'm optimistic for the future of endeavors and housing overall. It's just right now, there is a lot of genuine feedback I think quite a few people have for it that I do hope Blizzard takes to heart. This system could be so much better than what it currently is. Now, here's where you come in. Leave a comment down below with what you would like to see out of endeavors going forward. Do you like this system overall? Do you not like it? Do you think it's boring? What do you think Blizzard could do to make it far better than what it currently is? I would love to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions, and hear your perspectives. While you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. And unfortunately, pre-patch isn't all sunshine and rainbows and all that. No, not at all. Transmog's still pretty dang expensive. Now, funnily enough, since this video, they announced a 50% price cut on transmog. So again, I'm glad they're listening, and I hope this is a sign of things to come for endeavors. But I still think quite a few of my points about transmog and the cost behind it with gold still hold. Want to find out more? Well, check out this video right here for more. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Until we meet again.